All right, Eric, catching you mid-clip, mid-sort here. What are you? Tell the people what you're doing here. You got
I'm
blue.
currently at work and I'm doing my job.
That's good.
Uh,
But
we're
you're
making,
sorting your tails, right?
yeah, we're making a pedal board here, and
It's not every day we get to do a board with a guy with a signature pedal on the board, or in this case,
two.
signature. How do you say signature in Spanish? Comment below
That's a good
with
question.
signature in Spanish, and that way I can say it next time. But so this is for Andy Wood. That's his gearbox and his woodshed comp. Those have made the board. We got a brand new Atom G3 on this board. It's the first board we've had that has had that on it, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen them yet before. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, so we've done a couple G3s, but not this smaller variant of them.
Yeah.
So you can see here, I think that's all the pedals, right? Nothing's hiding.
This is all of them.
Yeah, and we'll do a couple interface boxes. So Eric's getting this thing all populated. We'll kind of come back when he gets a little farther around. Tell what's up with this blue tape stuff. Now
Just so I know what's going on.
we've had discussions. You guys might be surprised at the minutia here that we care about, but there's been long discussions about what is the most appropriate tape to use on tails. And we use blue tape.
Well,
I used to profess that masking tape was the best, and then I got pushback from Eric on it.
Yeah. Well, if you're not doing this a lot and you're saving your offcuts for use in the future, doesn't matter what type of tape you use. But if you have, for instance, this piece has been in here for probably 7 years.
Let's see if we can
And
tell
look
what it's from.
how gross this is. It's
on.
from
Loop
3. It's from a looping rig. And look how gross that is. Look how sticky.
Oh,
it's
gosh,
trash
that's
can.
terrible. Trash can.
Trash can.
Sorry,
But
guy.
let's look at this one here. This is fascinating. Not television, but see, much less gross. Oh, see,
that's
very
nice.
much better.
That's nice. But anyway, I wanted to give you guys kind of a look in progress of what's going on here. Did you already mount power?
Yeah.
Can we show the kids that? Or is that... Gotcha.
There's a Zuma here.
And
Here's
then
our
there's...
interface box.
There'll be a gig rig generator as well, right?
Yeah. That thing's going to go there-ish.
And then there's a power entry box that Eric has yet to make.
And this is going to go here with a power con on the outside.
And then two IEC pigtails coming out. Now, tell them the deal. Why use the generator?
Oh, the Atom is hungry.
Hungry. You can hear its tummy rumbling now.
Yeah. Listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it draws an amp and change on startup. So,
which has a tendency to freak out. The Zuma is so smart.
it's a clever device.
And if you have something that pulls really hard at the beginning, the Zuma, it appears, I didn't design it, so I can't tell you with any certainty, it appears that the Zuma will kind of think that there's something wrong, and it'll say, forget it, I'm not starting up. So, and to beat all, we've gotten bit by this a couple times, it can appear to work.
Yeah.
And then everything gets warm up to operating temperature. You leave it up for 4 hours or something like that. You shut the board off.
You leave it up for 10 minutes.
10 minutes. As long as it gets up to temp.
With the HXs anyhow.
Yeah. You turn it off and turn it back on, and then it goes into fault mode and won't work.
Flash.
Yeah. So anytime oftentimes when something is like flashing coming up and you've got a switch mode supply, or a smart supply in particular, really any supply that has sort of a safe operating area, just smarts that keep it from blowing up, you'll see it go bink, 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 because it tries to come up, the regulator says, forget it, and then it shuts down, and then it waits a second, and it tries to come up again, And the regulator says, forget it, and it just keeps doing that forever and ever and ever.
It's disappointing.
It is. It's very especially after you've got a board entirely wired up.
And you just feel bad for the supply because it's...
Yeah, poor supplies. So, Andy Wood, new board, new small board, not as big as his other board. This was going to be the getting in and getting out, and as Andy and I talked about it, not feeling like a heel when you go play the Opry with your giant spaceship and the Opry crew kind of looking at you sideways, because they know and you know you're there to play 2 songs. And why do you need a spaceship to play 2 songs? You've got a ton of Opry experience.
Yeah, I saw Charlie Daniels played there one night. I was there with another artist, and his guitar player had an original pod, kidney bean pod.
Oh, yes.
Version 1. It wasn't even the next one up.
Not even 2.0.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, the sound was not awesome, but the fact that he was rocking it was awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
I enjoyed that very much.
So I'll check back in here in a little bit, and we'll see where Eric is at later on this shred neck build. Later.
A few moments later.
Hi, Eric.
Hi.
What you working on now?
I'm putting a label on this thing so we know what goes where.
That's a like, as a tech, for those of you guys who don't know, Eric's got a lot of on the road experience, both as a guitar player and a person who takes care of guitar players. As a tech, why is the label important?
Well, you get, I mean, less so anymore, but definitely for a lot of my teching career, I found that when things break during a show, you get a little bit stupider than you normally are.
Oh man, in my experience, I get a lot stupider.
Yeah, it's something you kind of, probably doesn't afflict everybody. If you're really cool under pressure, it's probably fine.
Yeah.
But I was not always cool under pressure. I've got a lot better at it as I've done it longer, but it's better to not have to try to remember anything when you, because it's not a good feeling running out on stage in the middle of a show, bending over, trying to mess with cables, because it's gonna feel like the seconds are really long, and it's disappointing. Yep. So it's nice to know where stuff goes.
Yep. So labels here for, you can see Andy's thing's going to have an input there and then an insert. And where's that insert on this board? We'll go over all this again when we're done.
Between the gig rig and then the wet stuff. Yeah.
So like good for volume pedal, good for pedal of the day or dirt box or whatever. And then as that stuff is stereo, Eric's put in here an isolated right output for all that.
As I was actually thinking about this, or when we were thinking about the, because these ones don't have a breakout point in them like the G2s did. I don't think the Big 3 does either. I mean,
I don't know. I have a hard time keeping it straight.
Yeah, you can not burn it. You can use a loop to put an insert or a volume pedal or something in, but there's not an insert volume loop, whatever, dedicated. But the plus side, couple actually double-edged sword. So this has an ISO transformer in it that we unfortunately can't use because there's pedals after it that would totally defeat the transformer.
That would undo. So because what he's saying is because these pedals, the 2 channels share a ground, you could isolate it, but then the next pedal is going to undo that isolation.
Yeah. But on the plus side, then freebie dry out, wet dry wet rig if you want.
Oh yeah.
Which I thought was potentially very fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can tell Eric's, you're kind of done as far as wiring goes, right?
Yeah, it's done. We are just waiting on one part.
Yeah, we need
the power.
We'll pick this up
and
over
the pedal,
at Guitar Effects Pedals. We'll go pick that up this afternoon.
I hope he's got a little tiny foot to fit in there.
Oh man. Well, we'll see, I guess. And then we got to do some initial programming and set up like that. I tell you what, I keep coming back to this finish. That looks really good. I like those flat, like in cars now too. They're doing that. No flake, no pearl.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Everything's new again. My Pontiac Grand Prix from 91. Yeah, the car was from 91.
Yeah.
I couldn't drive it in 91 because I was 10. But the car that I drove in high school from 91, Pontiac had a real problem with the paint, as we've talked about.
Was it white?
Adhering to the primer. It wasn't. It was similar blue to this.
Okay.
A little lighter. But most of this color had flaked off because they had changed their primer chemistry. Mm-hmm. But that primer was about that color. It was real flat.
Yeah, like even like new Toyotas and stuff are in that finish. I really dig that. So, here you go. Kind of another midway progress. We'll probably touch base on some programming stuff, and then we'll play the thing.
Yeah,
and it'll be cool. All right, guys. Later.